basic music theory, right? First of all, let's take some definition of terms so we can understand the terms I'll be using to explain this stuff, right? So first of all, what is music? What is music? Please endeavor not to miss any class so that I don't have to be repeating most of this stuff, right? So music is the combination. Music is the harmonic and melodious combination of sound. Music is the harmonic and melodious combination of sounds. That are pleasing to the ear. Music is the harmonic and melodious combination of sounds that are pleasing to the ear. So the difference between music and noise is that noise is not the sound is not harmonic, the sound is not melodious, it is just a sound. Do you understand? Which means a sound in music can become noise. For instance, the sound of a horn can be noisy. The sound of a bell can be noisy. But when you combine these two sounds in a harmonic and melodious way on a beat to a rhythm, it becomes music. Why? Because it's pleasing, the pleasing sound in the ear. Do you understand? Also, let's look at some properties of music. Some properties in music and terms I will be using. We won't take everything. We cannot take all the terms in music, but little by little you get to understand some of these terms that we use. First of all, what is a key? Like you can see 12 keys in music. A key is the root note of a piece of music. A key is the root note of a piece of music, right? So every song, every music that you hear is based on a particular key. Out of all the 12 keys, a song is based on one, right? Are we together? Then the next is sharp. What is a sharp? Or first, let's take tone. What is a tone? A tone is a whole step or one step higher or lower from a note. A tone is a whole step or one step higher or lower from a note. Do you understand? Now look at this. Look at the board. This is A sharp or B flat. This A sharp or B flat means this particular key bears the same name. Please look at the board. It means this particular key bears the same name, right? So now you have 1, 2, 3. A tone means one step. One step means we are jumping a note to the next note, either higher or lower. So if we are going up, we jump this note to this note. That makes it one step or a whole step. If we are coming back from B, we jump this note to this step. That makes it one step or a whole step. That is a tone. Do you understand? Then a semitone is half step lower or higher from the note. A semitone is half step higher or lower from a note. A semitone is half step higher or lower from a note. Now look at the board. This means that from this key, if you are going higher, from this key to this key is a half step. Why? Because we are not jumping any note. There's no note between. Do you understand? it's half. Whereas in tone, we'll jump this note to this one. That makes it one step. Do you understand? If we are coming backwards, from this key, we'll jump this one to this. That is one step. From this key to this one, we are not jumping any note, so that is half step. Are we all clear to this point? Any question? Then next is interval. What is interval? Interval is the distance between two or more notes. The distance between two or more notes. That is interval. The distance between two or more notes. The distance between two or more notes. Now look up. That is to say, an interval, if for instance we want to we move from this B to this, we have jumped two notes. Do you understand? We have jumped two notes, so that is an interval. The distance between two or more notes, that is an interval. Next is sharp. Sharp, S-H-A-R-P. Then you can put this hash sign in brackets. This is the symbol of sharp, right? Now, sharp means to increase a note by a semitone. Sharp is the increase of a note by a semitone. So when we increase the key of A by a semitone, that is A sharp. When we increase the key of C, look up now so you understand. When we increase the key of A by a semitone, that is A sharp. When we increase the key of C by a semitone, that is C sharp. When we increase the key of D by a semitone, that is what? D sharp. Do you get it? So sharp is the increase of a note by a semitone. Flat is the decrease of a note by a semitone. Flat, the decrease of a note by a semitone, right? Flat is the decrease of a note by a semitone. Taken? Alright, look up. So, when we decrease the key of B by a semitone, we have what? B flat. This is the sign of flat. You can put this in brackets beside flat. So, when we decrease B by a flat, that is B flat. When we decrease A by a semitone, that is A flat. When we decrease G by a semitone, that is G flat. Right? We decrease E by a semitone, that is E flat. Do we understand up to this point? Are we sure? Are we all clear? No question. Alright. So let's look at the 12 keys in music. All the every song you hear is based on one of the 12 keys. Right? Now we have 7 natural keys and 5 accidental keys. 7 natural keys, 5 accidental keys. The accidental keys, they are called accidental keys because they bear 2 names. The natural keys bear 1 name, the accidental keys bear 2 names, right? Okay, let's look up. So we can take this down. Under the 12 keys, we have A sharp or B flat. Now remember that sharp and flat is the same sound in music. It's the same note. It's the same note that is bearing these 2 names. So when we are ascending, we use sharp. When we are descending, we use flat. The 2 purposes of the accidental keys. 1, when we are ascending, we use sharp to name the key. When we are descending, we use flat to name the same key. Also, in sheet music, flat is used to identify the accidental key. If the key of the song is an accidental, right, it is flat that we use to signify that this key is an. For instance, the key of G flat. I think, yeah, the key of G flat. Okay, we'll get to that. That's down. Yes. Okay. The key of G flat now has 5 flats. The key of B has 5 sharp. Remember that sharp and flats, you understand, is the same note that bears this. So how do we differentiate that this song is on the key of B and this song is on the key of G? So we use sharp to signify natural keys, and we use flat to signify accidental keys. So you can take that down. In sheet music, we use sharp to identify accidental keys, right? Then we use sharp to identify natural keys, and we use flat to identify accidental keys. So you need to take all these things down, because all these things that I'm explaining now is what we use in less than a second in music. Do you understand? When we are singing, when we are playing a song, all the song that you see playing, all these things are used at once. You understand? So you just need to get it now so that you understand where we are. So I'm trying to rush it. Let's be fast so that once you understand the music theory, then we get to application.
We use flat to identify what?
We use sharp to identify the natural keys. Then we use flats to identify accidental keys. Now, there's what we call natural. Where will I put that? Okay. This is the sign of natural. This is the sign of natural. This is it. So there is only one key in music that is a natural key, which means the key does not have sharp, it does not have flat. That is the key of C. Every other key has at least one sharp or one flat, but only the key of C does not have flat or sharp, right? So let's get to understanding these keys now. Then we get to formation of major scale, in brackets, tonic sulfur. A scale is series of notes played sequentially. Series of notes played sequentially. That is note after note. That's what we call scale. Series of notes played sequentially. That's what we call scale. Series of notes played sequentially. Series of notes played sequentially. That's what we call scale. So there are several scales, right? Harmonic, pentatonic, major scale, minor scale, melody scale, and so on. All of them, there are many scales, right? Now, all these scales and everything we do in music starts from the major scale. Before you form a chord or scale or whatever, you have to get the major scale first. That is the notes that belong to that particular key. And the major scale is made up of 7 notes. Take that down. The major scale is made up of 7 major notes, right? 7 notes. 7. Those are the major scale. So we deal with formation of major scale. We'll stop there. Next class, we'll look at the formation of major chords, right? So how do we form major scale? The format is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. You can just put T, T, S, T, 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 S. Here T stands for tone, S stands for semitone. The format is T, T, S, T, 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 S. T for tone, S for semitone, right? Now, what do we say is a tone? Check your notes. What do we say is a tone?
A tone, a whole step or one step higher or lower from the note.
A whole step or one step higher or lower from a note. A semitone is what?
Semitone is a half step lower or higher from the note.
Alright. Now, and I've explained that, right? I've illustrated that, right? So let's move quickly. So now let's look at the key of C, right? Also, there's what we call scale degree. Let's define that first. Scale degree. Scale degree is the numbering of notes in a scale. Scale degree is the numbering of notes in a scale. Scale degree is the numbering of notes in a scale. Then there's also what we call chromatic scale. So chromatic scale, which is C, CH, CHROMATIC. Chromatic scale. The chromatic scale is made up of all the keys, all the 12 keys. Remember, a scale is a series of notes played sequentially, Abi. So all the keys is playing A sharp, B, C, C sharp, like that, and so on till the end. That is the chromatic scale. So it is from this chromatic scale that we start forming the major scale. So we want to form the major scale of the key of C. Now, are we together? Of the key of what? C, the key of C. So please look up. Now remember, in our tonic solfa, we use do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do is just, you see this one, up. It just signifies that it's the higher octave. Octave means the repetition of a note on a higher or lower pitch. Octave. Octave. Like I said, we cannot take all the properties at once, so we'll just be taking it one by one. Octave, O-C-T-A-V-E, is the repetition of a note on a higher or lower pitch. P-I-T-C-H. P-I-T-C-H. Pitch refers to the level of the sound. If the sound is high or low, that's what we call pitch. Okay? Now, we want to form the major scale of C. The major scale of C. Now, which means C is our root note. C is the key. Are we together? Key is C is the key now, and it is the major or the root note. So now remember, we say the format for major scale is what? Now, this is the key of C. From the key of C, following the definition of a tone, we want to form the major scale. What is going to be our array? This is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So tone, 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 semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Right? This tone and semitone is referring to the distance from this note to the next, to the next, to the next. Do you understand? Now, following the definition of tone in your notes, from the key of C, what is going to be our array? What is the next note?
D.
D. Right? So we have D here. Also, following this, after D, which is tone, the first one was tone, from do to re, tone, right? From re to mi is tone. So from D, what's going to be the next note?
E.
E. From E, which is our mi, right? Do, re, mi. So from mi to fa, semitone, what's going to be the next note?
F sharp.
F. F or F sharp?
F sharp.
F or F sharp?
F.
Who is sure? I don't need you to be correct. I need you to be sure. I need you to know it. I don't need you to just be correct by Mr. I got this one. Is it F or F sharp? F. Why is it F? semitone. You are not jumping any key, right? That's the format. So we have our fa, right, which is F. You have F here. Now, after semitone, the next word, the next is what? Tone,
Tone.
right? So
G.
from F, what's going to be the tone?
G.
G. Okay. From G, we have the next one is tone, right?
Yes.
From G, what's going to be the tone?
A.
We are coming back up, right? Now, from A, what's going to be the tone again?
B.
B. We are jumping this.
Yes.
From B, tone or semitone? Semitone. So what's going to be the next note?
Tone. Tone.
C. Back to C. Do we all understand up to this point? Is anybody confused? Ask a question. Do you understand? Are you sure? Are you sure? Okay, so have we all taken this down? If you have not, take it down in your notes, please. Take down all the 12 keys. So the 12 keys is based on the first 7 letters in the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We stop there. There's no key H. When you enter key of H, you have gone home. You have gone to your village. Those of you that are from Umbise, you have gone to Umbise. Okay, so that's it. So you can see how I did it here on the key of C. So that now, this process is what we are going to do on all the 12 keys. It is from this scale now that will start forming everything that has to do with the key of C. When we get to chord formation, you will find out that each of these have their chords, right? Each of these notes on the key of C have their chords. So you can take this down like this, the key of C. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. This is the tonic solfa that we get first. Then after the tonic solfa, the next is to number it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is our scale degree. After this, then we now start using the format tone, tone, semitone to start picking which note is the do. So the C is the do. Which note is the re? We use the format, pick the re, D. Which note is mi? We follow the format, pick it, like that. You will get all the 7 letters that makes up the major scale of the key of C.
Okay. After that, we are still starting. We still see the keys of A.
Yes, if you want to do the key of A, it is the same process. The same process.
So
For
you
the key
get
of
the
A.
keys of all the.
All the 12 keys is the same process. Are we clear? Let's do the key of A and then we'll stop there and then I'll drop assignments. Key of A. Now, A, which is the first alphabetical key, right? So A, following the format, tone. From do to re is tone, right? So what's going to be the next note? From A.
B.
B. You are jumping a note. So B. Following the same format, mi, tone. From re to mi is a tone. From B, what's going to be the next note?
C sharp.
C or C sharp?
C sharp.
Okay. So we have a C sharp. Then from C sharp which is from mi to fa is the semitone. So what's going to be the next note?
D.
D. From fa to sol is a tone. From D, what's going to be the next note?
E.
You are jumping D sharp or A flat. It's the same key. So we are jumping it to E. Then, so that's sol, right? We have E. Then the next is La, right? So from sol to La is also a tone. What's going to be the next note after E? On key of A?
F sharp.
F sharp. We are jumping a note, right? Then from La to T is also a tone. What's going to be the next pronunciation?
G sharp.
G sharp. From G sharp, which is a tone, T to Do, semitone. What's going to be the next note from G sharp? Back to A. So A, on the key of A, the 7 major notes are A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Remember, we use sharp to identify natural keys and we use flats to identify accidental keys. So you notice that on the natural keys we are not using flats, right? We are using sharp. So, any question?
Can it be played on the piano?
Yes. Every musical instrument. That's why I'm starting with this. That's why I'm starting with music theory. This is what to use on every musical instrument, including drums. Drums, all the actual instrument that you have to beat with hand or stick, those are percussion. We call them percussion instruments, and they are tuned. Do you understand? This is not these drums. These are not the only piece that makes a drum set. There are still other. If you have seen a full drum set, there are still other pieces that makes each of those pieces of drum sets are tuned. Do you understand? So we are going to stop there. Let's